Like, because sometimes I would dash here, and dashing here does a few things. First of all, it makes the second Linoon get activated sooner. I don't think that's actually as important anymore. I'll try just not doing that, because usually he's fine. Or... Damn. Okay, that was a bit early. Damn, okay, I'm still missing like 300. One of them is this boy.
Nice timing.
Are you okay?
No.
Oh.
Alright, so this is the Swinub 3-star strat. It is loads of fun. So as far as we know, this is the only 3-star post for Swinub. That's accessible anyways. So we're going to start out. Right when you enter the course, you're going to press C on the D-pad. C on the D-pad, you're going to press right on the D-pad. It's 3 AM when I'm recording this. Don't worry about it. Pressing right on the D-pad just to drift the card a bit. When I get to this tree, I zoom in, and that's just what I did to control my speed. And then we're going to look over here and scan for this Weavile. So this Weavile, if he follows you, he will end up bumping the Swinub and making it run away. So we scan, and when you do that, he's going to run to the right instead of running to the left to the Swinub. So there are two Linoods here. The one on the left has a set path to go behind the log that's even more left, and then the one on the right, he's ready to follow your apples whenever. Don't bump the one on the left with apples, because then he runs away as well, and then you can't use him for later. But for the one on the right, we're actually going to make a trail of apples for him, just to get him all the way over. Now, if he ever does pick up an apple, you can scan again just to make him drop it immediately, and he can start following the apples again. And then the other thing to note is the other Linoon that's behind the log, he can swing around the log to go get the apples in front of it, and that's really bad. So you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. If he's coming, you can scan again to stop him there in his tracks. Now, normally I aim for this further tree with the apples to get the Linoons in position. I've been seeing Linoon this entire time. They're ferrets. You throw them at the tree to get the ferrets in position. Because they'll be important for the background points later. And then we finally get to our main subject over here, which is the Swinub, which you're going to throw an orb at. I'll talk about the timing in just a sec. But after you throw an orb, I always throw a second apple again after, just to get them a bit more into position. And then he starts sniffing the mushroom, and you take the picture right at the end of that animation. So he does like 2 sniffs, and then he starts jumping. So you want to get him on the second sniff. You know, burst mode, obviously, tops on this one. Now, the positioning for this one is really precise. So what I do is I line it up with the tree in the background, the same one that I aimed the apples at earlier, actually. So I aim it so that the tree's sort of like in the middle of the Swinub. So now if we go back to where I threw the orb, I sort of aim it so that you want to throw it when you can't see the tree. That one's a bit tricky to time. And then, you know, if you're off by a bit, you can dash engine a tiny bit to boost yourself a bit forward. But you want to aim it so that the second sniff is where the middle of the tree is sort of at his middle. And specifically, you want his animation for his nose right at the end of it to still be pointed a tiny bit up, not down. But like one of these frames sort of at the end works, but not this one because it's sort of pointing center or down. And yeah, if you did everything right, it should end up with a 4,000 point picture. This one does require grinding. It's not a fun time, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
待ってたよ。さてベストタイミング。